Also, I got to set this timer on over here and put it to a legible eyeball because I had it set on like stuff that only like people with nocturnal vision could see last time. So
That's how you live your life. You tried to show me a phone, and it was just like basically black screen.
I'm sorry.
It was set to the settings that I put my phone at when I'm laying down and I click on a YouTube video to fall asleep to.
I'm sorry that my eyes, they are getting worse. I hope that you're happy about it. They are getting worse. I am getting older, but I still have.
It's not that I want them to get worse. I'm like, how can you see that?
I've went.
It's just shadows. It's what legally blind people see.
I've went from 1819 to 2021. Okay, I hope you're feeling happy about it.
I hate you. I don't even know what mine is now.
I just hope you're happy about it.
I'm not happy about somebody, their stuff failing and falling apart.
Now at the same time,
just like why?
I still got this thing that I can do in the mornings, and that is I get up out of bed.
And you just open your fucking eyes and can see, yeah.
But that's just for now, and I don't want to wish that bad juju on me because my grandfather actually had it, and I believe my dad's getting it, and I think it is genetic, and it's that macular degenerate or whatever it is.
Macular degeneration?
Macular degeneration. There you go. But you got to take into consideration who I always heard these terms from, so I probably never knew the right one.
Yeah, immaculate is not the right word.
Yeah. So yeah.
Usually it sets on a little earlier than your father's age, though.
Yeah, but my dad's on the largest strength reading glasses that you can get. And
reading glasses and seeing glasses are two different things.
I understand, but he's needed both hearing things and seeing things for a while now, and he refuses to take care of it, much like other things.
Well, the hearing things can be a result of
that's been playing music for forever. Yeah. But you could be sitting in the house with him, and you know the difference between parlor and living room.
Yeah.
And you can be like, "Hey, Dad." Either he has got selective hearing like the best of them, and he just didn't hear you on purpose, or he legitimately just is not hearing as good as he used to.
I feel like it could be
because it's a coin toss.
It could be both.
It's a coin toss. It's a good Regis Philbin 50-50.
Yeah.
Would you like to phone a friend? He doesn't have any. I'd like to talk to you guys about something. We've collectively decided that today's episode is going to be dedicated to some characters and character actors and actresses that when they take on a role, they become that role, and they are so convincing in it that they're standouts for us.
Are you starting the episode already?
I thought that's what we did.
No, are we past the intro segment already?
It's not a long intro today.
Okay. I mean, that's fine.
I guess, because there's the intro music. Hi, everyone. I'm Austin Shazam, not the Boo Box! Pfeiffer.
And I'm Austin Tiny. I'm gonna test your speed. Zend.
And we are Nerded Through the Grapevine, the podcast where your best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. And as previously stated, this week we're going to come at you and talk a little bit about character actors. People that we have seen in roles along the way that, you know, whether it be in television or whether it be in movies, that they're just so convincing in these roles that we believe them as these characters. Like, we wouldn't know how to interact with them as people because they're so convincing as characters. We don't know who they are. First off, for me, something that started that as a kid for me, and I think a lot of people were probably the same way. I mean, especially Schmidt on New Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton was only Batman.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton was Batman. Batman was Michael Keaton. There was no differentiation in Bruce Wayne or Michael Keaton. It was, oh, why is Batman having to do all the chores and pick up after the kids?
Why is there 6 Batmen, but one of them is mentally deficient?
Why are there so many Batman? And I was, as a kid, I just couldn't comprehend it. I couldn't comprehend actors. I would comprehend characters because I would recognize them. Because, like, oh, there's Batman. But Batman was so many roles. And Michael Keaton is a wonderful actor. I mean, you go back and you look at and you watch the Michael Keaton movies with an adult perspective, and you're like, oh, okay, well, those are good movies. I even liked Birdman.
I've never seen Birdman.
Birdman got a lot of hate because it was kooky, but it was good.
I thought it was supposed to be a serious.
No, I mean, it was one of those kind of seriouses. It was so serious that it was kooky. Like a psychological style movie. Like, is this really happening? Is this not really happening? It can't happen, so it's got to be in his head, but how is he really acting? Does it depict that? Only in some spot. It's that kind of a movie.
Gotcha. Because wasn't it supposed to be like about an old retired superhero or something?
Something along those lines, like an actor that played a superhero.
Oh, so he was supposed to be an actor in it?
Yeah, it's kind of almost like a caricature of what I was just talking about with Michael Keaton Batman.
Gotcha.
Not differentiating between whether or not he was really this hero or he was actually just an actor. And it was also a look at mental health of the people that do method acting. I don't know if you know, because I was wanting to talk about good character actors. I don't really know too much about getting into the depth of the method that they use, but there are these things in Hollywood called method actors, and that's when their life revolving, like all of their stuff they're doing revolving around life, is actually in this role. They believe they are this person, or at least they act like they are this person.
They act like they're that person. They have people treat them like they're that person.
Yeah.
Like they embody that character until they're finished.
Yeah, and like Jared Leto, whenever he played the Joker in Suicide Squad, that's the kind of persona that he took on set.
No, not in Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad, right? No, it was Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad was the one he wasn't in.
I was thinking Heath Ledger. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, Heath Ledger was the Dark Knight.
Yes.
So,
I mean, they were both method actors.
yes, but Heath Ledger's actually hit,
Yes.
whereas Jared Leto's kind of fell short in the movie. Also,
Well, he
I
kept
believe
jumping the shark with the things that he would do on set.
yes, he was. The stories on set for that kind of stuff ended up getting like a little creepy. Like people were like, "Why is he doing this?"
Yeah.
But
Why did he send me a baggie full of his own shit
I think
or a dead mouse?
I think that his Joker in the movie could have been a lot better had you seen everything that he had done in the role. I think that the way that it was cut and spliced into the movie after the movie was redid by the people that did the music videos. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That's why the original movie looks so funky.
Well, I actually kind of liked most of the original movie. There was just a few things that just didn't make sense, and I didn't know why they were in there. But I did watch it and enjoy it for the most part, and had a good time.
I think there was a part in the movie where
However, I've only seen it like twice, so keep that in mind.
to where his Joker had said they were telling him something. He's like, "And I believe you." Like that kind of.
Well, I mean, I heard that. Okay, so the difference, like Heath Ledger's was a very like sociopathic, like man behind the scenes trying to break down because of this is the mechanisms of society. So I'm going to exploit the weaknesses.
Yes.
Whereas Jared Leto's was more of a psychotic portrayal. Like, I do this because I get jollies from doing this.
Yes. And you've had different portrayals of the Joker over time as to what style of Joker they are and what their Joker is representing within that. I guess that trope, and what is it called, as far as the structure of something and it's representing something else, the symbolism, like the anarchist, the gangster.
Yeah.
The gangster was Jack Nicholson's Joker. Jack
I would
Napier.
say more mafia.
Yeah, well, mafia, gangster.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Jared Leto one was also a gangster, but more like street gang, like modern street gang style.
Yeah, his was seemed like Joker Yakuza.
Yeah.
Whereas
Very American and white.
Jack Napier, that was Jack Nicholson's Joker character, was literally like that mobster. I mean, even Jack Palance's character too, and I mean, it's clear mobster-esque, and just remember, you are my number one.
Oh yeah, Jack Nicholson did so good.
I liked Jack Palance, the guy that played Curly off of City Slickers, was also in that movie. Jack Palance was an older Hollywood actor, but he made a lot of the 80s and 90s or early movies from the 90s. He was in some roles in that to where he would play like these older gruff characters. And one of them was Curly the Cow Boss on the City Slickers movie with Billy Crystal. But he was such a convincing cattleman in that movie. And I saw that movie around the same time that I saw Batman. And it really confused me because as my child brain worked, the character of Curly was Jack Palance. And the guy who was the head of the mafia was Curly the Cow Boss.
I mean, I could see that being a real mind-blowing experience, but no, the worst of that style thing that I've been through was with Kathy Bates, man. After watching her in Misery,
she just, because I saw Kathy Bates in Waterboy.
I mean, she was Annie Wilkes
before I saw her in Misery.
I was inverse of that.
So I saw Kathy Bates in a comedy, thinking her to be a comedic actress, because Bobby Boucher's mom.
Oh yeah,
that is a great character.
Yes,
and it's a quotable one. Don't you be playing under them foosball. That foosball is for the devil. Go from that to seeing her in. I really like your stories.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a chilling line.
Well, it seemed everything that she said was kind of chilling in that movie, honestly, because she had like this sinister glint behind her eyes, and everything she did had this dark purpose of keeping this man here to write a book for me that only I will get because he's my favorite. And that character that he writes that he killed, I cannot abide by that. So I'm going to make him fix this universe.
Hobble is not only an awkward way to walk.
Yeah.
Hobble's also a thing that could be done to you.
Well, and believe it or not, the book version's way worse.
See,
because in the book version, she takes off his foot.
Oh.
She takes an axe and cuts his foot off. OFFT. Cut it off.
Ouch. That would have sucked to see in a movie, but to see the man's...
What you see wasn't much better.
To see that man's foot get hammered sideways...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was real.
Yeah, it makes you hurt every single time you see it.
Poor Buddy's dad.
His name was Paul Sheldon.
I know. But it's also Buddy's dad.
I mean, maybe.
Buddy the Elf? What's your favorite color?
No, yeah, you're right.
Oh, what's his name? Robert Kahn?
James
Kahn. If there's a Robert Kahn out there, I do apologize for getting you confused.
That was his dad.
Was it really?
I don't know.
Damn it! I thought you had it pulled up or something. Well, you got to...
No, I just had the cast of Misery pulled up.
Well, there was a bunch of other stuff that she was into that like she fit into just the roles. Like Kathy Bates, she was in Titanic
Yeah.
as the unsinkable Molly. Forget what was I'm gonna have to look it up. Molly something. Molly Brown. There was actually a book about her as well
Yeah.
called The Unsinkable Molly Brown,
Oh, yeah.
but it was based off of her, the real character. She was Texas oil tycoon's wife and all this other stuff. Inherited all of his money. And by the end of her life, she actually had all of the money that she had on her in jewelry.
Hmm.
She didn't leave anything in the bank, didn't leave anything up for inheritance. Like she died with it all, like wearing it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was I don't know the entire story of all of that, but it's amongst the chaos.
Yeah,
It lives there amongst the chaos.
She was also the bearded lady in the freak show season of American Horror Story.
She was. She's been in several seasons of American Horror Story. She was in Roanoke.
I've been seeing that one. The last one I watched was Freak Show.
Roanoke was good to me because, well, minus.
Now, does it take place during like a modern day Roanoke or like pioneer times?
Both of them.
Gotcha.
Because it delves into the mystery of the lost colony of Roanoke and Roanoke Island and the Croatoan and all that stuff. So,
Gotcha.
so it was neat because I liked that stuff, but also took twists and turns that were kind of like, are we here? Are we there? Are we both? We don't know.
Right.
I'm confused. Did I miss like 5 minutes and forget where everything was? Like it was one of those.
Kind of like season 2 of American Horror Story.
Which one was that one?
Asylum, where all of a sudden there's fucking aliens.
Yeah, the Asylum kind of threw me for a bit. My favorite was Coven.
Coven was great.
Coven was gnarly, and I'm glad that Coven got a continuation.
I mean, they had the White Witch in it.
Oh, there's like another woman actress that actually surprised me whenever I found out about this, and I showed Tiny the video of it a little while ago. A lot of us are of the age that we can remember the movie Hook, and if you've never seen the movie Hook, you need to watch the movie Hook. It's Steven Spielberg's take on Peter Pan as Peter Pan adult, having to go back to Neverland because Captain Hook has kidnapped his kids and taken them to Neverland. So, and it's got Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman. The list goes Hoskins, that's his name. Doesn't have a P in it. Bob Hoskins. Lot of folks in that movie. It's Julia Roberts plays Tinkerbell. There's
Really?
yeah,
I didn't realize she was in that.
yeah, like right out of Pretty Woman. Like this came out like just a couple years, so it was like primetime Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell. And Tinkerbell within that movie actually makes a wish for herself for once. And she wishes she was big enough to feel a feeling that she was feeling for Peter because she fell in love even more with adult Peter than she ever did with child Peter. And she grew to the size of an adult human.
Huh.
And was able to actually look him eye to eye. And it was a very loving moment. And they shared a loving touch. And she turned back into a fairy and flew away.
Interesting.
And she'd basically set herself free of the attachment of her and Peter because she got to live that wish. But then she comes back to save him whenever he's in trouble. Which is really sad me talking about Hook because it makes me think because that's who I thought Robin Williams was for a really long time was Peter Pan. Because that's my kid brain. That kid brain, he was Peter Pan.
Well, I mean, he wasn't a very good character actor.
Who, Robin Williams?
Yeah. I know it's a hot take. Don't get me wrong. I love Robin Williams.
You can always tell it was Robin Williams.
You can always tell it was Robin Williams.
But dude, like his funny ones,
and he was different flavors of the same person.
Then you watch him in creepy stuff.
He was only in a couple of creepies.
1 Hour Photo was damn creepy. It don't get much creepier than that. And also, he was in some obscures too, like What Dreams May Come. Like, have you ever watched What Dreams May Come? I couldn't tell you the plot of What Dreams May Come. It's like trying to read Dante's Inferno, but you don't have it in order.
But it's something totally different. Yeah.
Looking back on it, I think it might have been like a more modern take on the idea of Dante's Inferno, because he was kind of delving through the different levels and of hell.
No,
like.
He was like trying to decode the code machine during World War II. Am I thinking of a different movie?
Yeah.
What movie am I thinking of?
You're thinking of
A Beautiful Mind. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and that's Russell Crowe.
Yeah, I was way off. My bad. My bad. Okay, it's been a long time. And maybe I've not seen that one.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, we needed that.
Look,
I've never got Robin Williams and Russell Crowe confused before.
no,
And
look.
I
didn't
guess
get
it's
the person
prone to-
confused. I got the plots confused.
And for a second, too, I was also thinking, like, wait a minute, the radio transmitter, whenever he was on the radio and working in the war, no, that wasn't the World War II. That was Vietnam. That was good.
That was Good Morning Vietnam.
That was Good Morning Vietnam. Good Morning Vietnam. So in the movie Hook, though, I was showing Tiny a snippet of the very beginning of it, to where there is an actress in the role playing a pirate man. What?
Like flew planes?
No, like pirate man, not pilot. Pirate. Listen, you have earphones.
I know.
You got me coming in both ears.
I know. I thought it would have been funnier
Hope
than
it
it
ain't
was.
sticky. So you got Glenn Close playing a dude in this scene. And I don't know how it ended up working out that way. I could probably look up the lore on it, but then again, I'd just be regurgitating some red stuff as opposed to what I've seen. But it is Glenn Close in a man costume using man voice, because her voice is deeper, it's gruff, it has a gravel to it whenever she's screaming. Like, because she's getting drug away, because her punishment for questioning anything that Captain Hook is doing is getting put in the boo box. And the boo box is a treasure chest that is got a little port on the top of it to where they'll go boo, and then drop a full black scorpion down there. So that's Glenn Close. Also, Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians played that dude. It's just weird. If you've not seen it in a long time, go back, watch Hook, check out the boo box scene, and it's weird to see that. What are you doing over there?
Just trying to get this thing to not be screwy.
I just saw you over there doing something,
I
and
was trying to get to a page, and
you were just
the
gone.
internet was
You were gone over there, and I didn't know what had happened to you.
No, I was trying to internet, and it wasn't wanting to internet appropriately.
What if you got Betty White and Kathy Bates confused?
I don't think anyone could.
What if you were imagining Betty White hobbling James Caan?
No, Betty White was so versatile. She could have done it.
Probably could have.
I mean, I can see it happening right now in my head.
Actually, Betty White could have probably done that, and it would have probably been even creepier had she maintained a not comedic tone.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me sick to my stomach actually thinking about it. All right. I'll change that whenever they get a time machine.
I don't think that needs to be changed. Kathy Bates did so good, though.
I know, but I mean, it might not even be changed. I might just hop over to the different universe.
I don't know.
We don't know how multiple universes could
That's
work.
true, we don't.
There could be one where it already exists. I mean, there's like the Shazam movie that Sinbad was in back in the 90s. That did or did not happen. Who knows?
Well, I think that one's actually been debunked. That it did not happen, but was like filmed as a bit for something, and then it got buried.
I haven't looked into it. It's just one of those.
I did at one point.
It's one of those things that brain remembers something about, but I don't know what all brain remembers about.
I mean, I can't imagine it would be any better than Kazam was.
Kazam was okay.
Kazam was great when you was a young child.
Watching Kazam or Steel nowadays, Shaquille O'Neal did not make this list.
No, no, he did not.
Sorry. You don't make it on the list with Daniel Day-Lewis.
No, man. Him as Billy the Butcher.
You had two roles that were relatively close to each other with Daniel Day-Lewis, and that was going to be Bill the Butcher from Gangs of New York, and There Will Be Blood. I can't remember what his
dude as Bill the Butcher. He was so just menacing and creepy. Like he took over every scene that he was in. Just period.
Let's see. He was Daniel Plainview. That was his name. I just couldn't remember it for some reason. But yeah, the Bill the Butcher cutting. He creeped me out, man.
Dude, like he was just creepy.
And to hear the tone of his voice whenever he's carrying on. Yeah. And Daniel Day-Lewis's actual speaking voice is just real gentle English man.
Oh yeah. He was definitely not in that movie.
He's the the man that he is speaks almost like this whenever he's communicating. And finding that out was just like finding out Mel Gibson was Australian instead of Scottish.
Right.
Wait a minute. You mean that but you sounded like, and then I seen you in an American act, but you actually sound like.
Yep.
What are you going to do? Character actors.
Yeah, Russell Crowe.
They're convincing. Yeah, Russell Crowe. Like, and you hear him with his American accent on, like in Cinderella Man or A Beautiful Mind, and you don't have any clue that
The Beautiful Mind, wasn't that the one with all the colors, almost like a modern retelling of Dante's Inferno?
I don't believe so, sir. I don't think it was. And also, Beautiful Mind did have to do with the decoding, but he wasn't even doing it for real. He was doing it for fictitious.
Well, no, he had something. He was like hallucinating it.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't.
He wasn't actually working for the government. He was hallucinating. He was working for the
Right.
government for trying to decode something that didn't exist.
Right.
So he did have a crazy, insane mathematical brain, but he also burnt it out on trying to solve an unsolvable equation from a fake government agency that was made up in his own head,
Yes.
spearheaded by a friend of his who was also an imaginary friend.
Yes.
That was a sad turning point in that movie.
Yeah, because you're on board. You're like, oh my god, is he going to get it? This is nuts. And then you're like, what is happening?
And then his kid is like, "Daddy," and then he gets chopped down.
Hmm.
It was a different movie. I think he wasn't. No, that was Gladiator, and that happened.
No,
Different Russell Crowe.
he didn't have a kid in Gladiator.
He did.
Oh, well, yeah, he did. But then he got killed.
Yeah, you're
He
talking.
had no other kids.
You're talking about your standing point and your firm-footedness on the hill that Maximus Decimus Meridius never had a child other than his child that was chopped down in the first movie.
Exactly.
The loose connection via bastard child that he had with Princess.
He was too honorable to have a bastard child.
That's a standpoint that Tiny is standing on. And also with Daniel Day-Lewis, did you ever see Last of the Mohicans?
No.
That's another one. I would never have thought that. He's just such a good actor, and he's very select. He's very select in his movies. I mean, from the year 1971 to the year 2025, because he's got another movie coming out here pretty soon. Let me count them, because I can count them. That's how many there are. Less than 20.
Dang.
And in Brain, he's one of the greatest actors to ever be on screen. But yet he's only been in 20 movies.
Well, I mean, that could mean he is one of the greatest because the portrayal is so iconic. You know, just like Anthony Hopkins, you know. Like, could you imagine anybody else playing Hannibal Lecter?
No.
Like, at all, like, for real. Like, I've read the book and then watched the movie, and if I ever go back and read the book, it's Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins was Hannibal Lecter in my head because I saw him, my first time ever seeing him in a movie was actually when I watched Silence of the Lambs when I was 10 years old and I wasn't supposed to be. And then anything I saw him in after that, it took a lot of deprogramming for me to get rid of the idea that this is Batman.
Yeah.
Because he also was recurring role as Batman several times.
Oh, yeah.
So, like seeing the movie Hearts in Atlantis.
Oh, that was such a good movie. He did so good as Ted.
Oh, man.
That's a very just sweet, heartwarming piece, mostly.
Yeah. Hearts in Atlantis wasn't that a Stephen King?
It was.
Was that a Stephen King like The Green Mile was a Stephen King?
No, it was a novella, more like Secret Window was a Stephen King.
Okay. You stole my story.
Yeah.
Which Johnny Depp.
Yep.
Johnny Depp's another one.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of those that he has created these characters that nobody else can be besides Johnny Depp. Like the Johnny Depp version of Willy Wonka. That is a very creepy, to me at least. I mean, I know he's whimsical, but he's not like Gene Wilder.
Right.
You know, so the Gene Wilder was, you know, of course, he
had some dark, sinister moments.
He did, but he also
scene.
Yeah, I just the way that he would talk throughout the movie with his teeth exposed. and how chipper he was the entire time. I really just didn't enjoy that. And I think he did that on purpose.
Oh yeah, he probably wanted it to be unsettling.
Because Johnny Depp he'll just be kind of hanging around downtown by himself when he's had too much caffeine. Anyway, that's sex and candy. He just like, I saw a video of him just like he was sitting outside of a door. I think he was just like playing guitar or something. It was just one of those like Johnny Depp on a sidewalk kind of deal. And somebody walked by him and they say, "Hey, aren't you Willy Wonka?" And he looks up at him real quick and he goes, "Good morning, Starshine."
I believe it.
The Earth says hello. And I was like,
"Oh!" Yeah, I believe it.
I'm like, oh God, because he invented Captain Jack Sparrow. Like
he did.
Like the entirety of the persona that is Captain Jack Sparrow, even the place that he has in the movie. He was only supposed to be a little bit of the movie, and he became
most of the movie.
The movie. So I just see
there's going to be another movie
without him.
It's in the talks. No, with him.
With him, redemption. I'm glad that he's getting some redemption from the bullshit.
Yes,
because what happened to him was some bullshit, and I'm glad he deserves some redemption from it.
Yeah, because he wasn't completely blameless. He did some bad.
He did,
but nothing like the amount of bad that they were saying that he did.
Yeah, it was more, I think it was a trigger happy, like, they don't need to be associated with this, get rid of him while it's happening kind of deal.
Yeah.
And then it came out, they both did some screwed up things, but all in all, like, she needs to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And she did. And now it's to the point to where he had showed up at Disneyland a few times on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, like standing in there, and just randomly amongst the animatronics would step out and start yelling at the people in the boat, like, "Put your cell phones away!" Whatever those are. What, you've never seen a pirate before? And they're like, wait, is that... And like, it's hilarious because they always have cameras and stuff around. Yeah. And he'll do a different one where he's the Cat in the Hat. And he'll go sit... like the Mad Hatter.
I forgot that.
He's the Mad Hatter. So he'll go and sit in in a room, and they portray he's in full costume and makeup and everything, and he's sitting in front of a camera that transmits the signal of him sitting right there into the mirror that's out in the middle of the park.
Huh.
And he'll sit there and it'll look like him, and then they'll interact because it's also got a secret camera on one of the jewels of the mirror. So they're seeing everything that's in front of the mirror, and he's getting to respond to everything that's in front of the mirror. So it's actually Johnny Depp there in the park, like, "Well, that backpack that you have on doesn't really look like it's suiting to the rest of your outfit. What do you have in there?" Like, and stuff, and the people are like, "What?" And because he becomes a character, he plays that character, and now he can recur as that character because people recognize him as it.
Yeah.
Like
nobody else could mimic what he did.
Like, I don't think Disney realized the kind of money making that they were going to be having with Johnny Depp whenever they originally considered Johnny Depp to be in the Pirates movie. I don't think they knew just the bukus of money he was going to bring them in just throughout all the movies.
Anybody did, because I mean, I'm not going to say he wasn't known before that movie, but I feel like that just launched his career.
It did, because, I mean, he was in a lot of different stuff that was more obscure, like The Ninth Gate, the Secret Window. He was in the original Nightmare on Elm Street. He's one of Freddy's first victims that dies as soon as he gets off the phone with, oh my God, why can't I remember her name? Oh, that sucks that I can't remember the actual, because I can remember the actress that plays her. It's Heather Langenkamp. Like, why do I remember Heather Langenkamp?
I don't know why you remember Heather Langenkamp.
Because she's the actress that played the original girl that was Nancy. I think it was Nancy. Look it up real quick. See if I'm right. Just original Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it was Nancy. I could be wrong. Oh, I hope it's Nancy. What was I even saying before I got on that?
Johnny Depp.
Yes, Johnny Depp was one of the original victims in the Friday the 13th. Not Friday the 13th, but Nightmare on Elm Street. His death was crazy, though.
Nancy Thompson.
Yes! And played by who?
Heather Langenkamp.
Yes! Oh, random obscure knowledge that is no good outside of these
Well,
walls.
what was Johnny Depp's character's name?
Don't remember. He got sucked into a bed and turned into a blood spray.
Glenn Lantz.
Nope.
L-A with a Z. Lantz.
Yep, did not remember.
Well, what about Anthony Starr, the guy that played Homelander?
Anthony Starr.
Like, how awesome what did he do? Because he was able to because he's a human. He was born a human. He's been a human his whole life. And he had somehow learned to make everything about him give you the feeling of Uncanny Valley. Everything was just slightly off from how it should be, from the way that he talked to the way that he interacted with people. Everything about him just gave you this feeling of, this is not a person.
He actually had to have a serious conversation with the public via his social medias because people were afraid of him.
Well, yeah, I mean,
like, people would see him in real life, and like kids would see him in real life, and he's like, kids shouldn't be watching The Boys in the first place.
No, they absolutely shouldn't.
He said, but like they would see me and they would be like intimidated by me. And I'm not that guy. And he's also, I think, British. I think he's got an accent of
New Zealand.
Okay, so sorry, didn't mean to offend any Kiwis, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alan Ritchson is another really good character actor.
He's good in Reacher. He's convincing in Reacher.
Well, hold on. I first seen him in Blue Mountain State. Okay, now we know Blue Mountain State was a Spike show. It's full of dick and butt and drug humor, right?
Lots of drug humor, which is hilarious.
Well, he played Thad Castle in that. He played that just really dumb, stupid meathead.
What a name!
You know, just like he did that role so well. You got to have chops to be able to do that so convincing and it not just be over the top annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing I saw him in was Reacher. Tom Cruise is not Reacher. Alan Ritchson is Reacher.
Unless you count for Christmas presents.
What?
You said Tom Cruise is not Reacher, and I said unless it's for Christmas presents. Because top shelf, you can't.
I thought it was a Scientology joke that I just wasn't getting.
No, he's little.
Yeah, I mean, he is.
And
he's got a middle tooth.
You got Reacher for the top shelf. And,
I'm talking about Jack Reacher.
Did that make it funny?
It completely derailed me. So
oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about Alan Ritchson and being good in Reacher because Tom Cruise isn't a good Reacher.
Yeah, I'm just completely gone. Oh, because, well, not only does he fit the physical stature, he's able to actually portray badassery in a convincing tone. And he does it so well because I've read several Reacher books. It's the Reacher character from the books on the screen. It's awesome.
I'm glad you enjoy it in that aspect because I've never read the books because...
Well, if you watch the first season, that's basically reading the first book. It is that close.
I like the show. I like the show a lot. I would actually like to see him as Batman.
Yeah, they've been in talks of making him the next Batman.
I think that he would be a great Batman.
Please.
If he doesn't become Batman, Aquaman. Thanks for joining us, everyone. If you want a little bit of extra grapes, all you got to do is get onto the TikTok. There's some shorts on there highlighting some of our funnies that we've had along the way. I'm the only one on TikTok a lot of times, just doom scrolling and just carrying on, so that's why it's on my TikTok. So if you want to get on there, look up austin.shazam.phi on TikTok. You'll be able to find all the grape reels on there, as well as getting onto our Patreon for some extra squeeze. For $5 a month, you will have an extended episode that is uncut directly from record button to record button. No shenanigans are left out. If you get on the $10 tier of our Patreon, you get the uncut video as well, along with special videos and special segments that we do just for the $10 tier. Get on there, get all of our extra content, help support the podcast, and we would appreciate it greatly.
That's my peanut butter.
Have you ever been sitting in your car listening to us and you go, I wonder what these two chuckleheads look like while they're, laughing hysterically? Or I just really want to see the reaction? Get on YouTube. You can see that there. The video releases every Friday. I mean, it's not uncut like, if you was on the Patreon, but you still get to see. And then if you scroll down to the description, you look there, there's a link that'll take you over to the Discord. We call that the Backyard Bonanza. You can talk to us directly. We're on there live, uncut, uncensored, and irrevocably circumcised.
Like a legitimate
We could
take,
do it.
a legitimate take on a serious Aquaman, because the powers and the prowess and the strength and everything that Jason Momoa's Aquaman had, take away the surf bro, put in some serious I'm the inheritor of the throne of Atlantis-ness.
Yeah, because Jason Momoa, he is a surf bro. That's how he lives.
That's kind of most of
And
his,
that's fine.
and he's kind of as an opposite of character actor, he's kind of more of a typecast actor.
Yes.
Because this is the type that you cast for this.
Yes.
So
Because I don't honestly know if Jason Momoa has any depth to his acting ability because of the fact that he is typecast.
there is one good thing about the typecasting and about his dude broness that I am going to enjoy in his next installment of superhero stuff that he's going to be doing. He's going to be Lobo.
I don't know who Lobo is.
Look up Lobo next time you get a chance to look up Lobo, because Lobo in the Superman world is an intergalactic bounty hunter that it can go toe to toe and blow blows like Superman. He's not going to back down. Like Superman can't beat him up. So just he actually refers to himself in the third person like most of the time, and he calls himself the main man. And the entire time he's carrying on, he's always talking about himself being the main man. So he's almost like a copy of Macho Man, Randy Savage, in the way he carries himself on. Oh, so you're messing with the Macho Man.
I could see him doing that.
So I think that'll be a fun.
What if, okay, we pull our money together?
I don't have any of that. It went into a turbo.
I don't either. But what if we went walking into the woods one night and stumbled across a treasure chest full of money?
As long as it's not a boo box, I'll open it.
No, it's just it's a treasure chest full of money, but in it is a note from, I don't know, somebody that's dying of cancer or something. They hid this for people to find because they want to improve those people's lives. But the condition of accepting the money is we have to make a movie.
I'm tracking.
I honestly forgot where I was going because of the lead up.
I just wanted you to tell me about this movie we were getting privately funded by the cancer patient that was dying.
It was going to be good, but I forgot.
I don't know what good could come from it.
I remember now.
Oh, good. I'm so happy. Tell me about it.
We do a biopic on Macho Man Randy Savage, and Jason Momoa plays Randy Savage.
He could probably do it.
Yeah.
But if the biopic of Hulk Hogan never happened and Chris Hemsworth was supposed to be Hulk Hogan, I don't think they can have a Macho Man and actually make it happen.
That's true. Because they gotta have like the madness and the mania.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Ooh.
And the awkward like handshake and oh, I can feel the power.
That was a lot of cocaine.
That was so much cocaine.
That was a lot of cocaine and a lot of steroids. And those don't mix well together for your liver enzymes and the toxicity
I
it
wouldn't
causes to
know,
your
but
brain
I've
chemistry.
heard.
Yeah. I've just seen, and they talk about it. I mean, if you listen to any wrestling podcasts and stuff from any of the retired folks, they'll talk about the drug use and everything.
Oh yeah, they absolutely will.
They'll also talk about too, like Bret Hart has recently been speaking out about this. Like they're making it illegal for you to smoke pot in wrestling, and
that part's kind of shitty.
and he said you're going to find a whole lot more fucked up individuals within wrestling now that can't cope with life, be it pain, be it trauma, because they're going to now have to go to pills. And they're going to have pills and alcohol. And pills and alcohol are a great chemistry for a failed life.
Yep.
And I'm like, God, Bret the Hitman Hart coming out with some hard hits.
Yeah.
Coming out with some hard
Oh,
hits.
the Hitman, because he hit you with the truth.
He hits you with the truth. Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
He was Jean-Luc Picard until he was Professor X.
Yes.
And he was completely convincing as both of those.
He absolutely was.
Even though he was talking the same and just seated.
He was seated in both, but seated for different reasons.
Well, he could not be seated by choice in one.
That's true.
The only time he wasn't seated was in the other one was whether it was flashback of pre-seated time or Jean Grey's got him lifted up and is about to make him go disintegrate.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's about only times you see Professor X giving stands.
Yep. Well, I mean, just watch him on the Enterprise though. That I think that's my favorite Patrick Stewart, just because he's like you can just see the growth in his character.
And the boldly go where no man has gone before.
Yeah.
Ba, ba, ba,
I mean,
ba, 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 ba.
He starts as like the biggest asshole in the world, because his mission is to explore. Yes, he's military, but he's not out there to, command and conquer. He's out there to explore, find things we've never seen before. Da 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 da. And then this young punk kid, Riker, comes along. He's this young startup, and he's like, "Well, I want him on my ship, but I'm not going to make it easy." So as soon as he gets on, I'm going to uncouple the saucer section with the nacelle section, which they do that a couple of times throughout the series, but it's very rare. And he's like, "All right, Mr. Riker, if you're truly going to be my number one, you need to do a manual coupling." Which they're like, but Captain Picard, nobody does manual couplings. That's incredibly dangerous. We could all explode and die. And he's like, yes, that's what I want. And so Riker goes, I got you, boy. And just boom, and he does it. And then he goes, well, you're truly my number one because I only want the best on my ship. So he goes from that calculating asshole to like there's this kid on board. He's a very smart kid. Yes, you can join my crew in an honorary stance, and then eventually in an official capacity because I recognize how great you are, and I actually enjoy you as a person. Even though Wesley Crusher, worst character ever.
I don't think that you're the only one with that opinion.
I'm not.
I think that I've actually heard that from several Star Trekites.
Yes.
I don't know what Star Trek
Trekkies.
fans. Well, I don't. Trekkies.
They're called Trekkies.
Are they Trekkies?
Yeah,
Is Trekkie not derogatory?
No, they're Trekkies.
Oh, well, good. Patrick Stewart was a very good Professor X, though, and I like how many times he's gotten to reprise his role as Professor X, and he got to reprise it again in Multiverse of Madness, which was neat to see, even though it was very quick lived because of the way that he went out. But that was just in that universe. It was it was a multiverse thing. So multiverse, he doesn't have to die because in Avengers Doomsday, he is coming back again as Professor Charles Xavier.
Nice.
Yes, excited to see it. I'm excited. I want to be excited for comic book movies again. Because maybe the new James.
I want to be excited for movies in general again.
Well, maybe the new Superman by James Gunn will come out and renew my faith in comic book movies because it's a brand new universe and you don't have to watch 700 movies to be able to take part in it and then know everything that's going on. Marvel itself, well, he doesn't want that. He's already explicitly talked about that. He doesn't want to focus on building expansive universes. He wants to make quality movies and eventually connect them.
Which that would be fine.
That's what he wants because he's not even greenlighting stuff until it's 100% the way that he wants it to be.
Well, see, was Marvel intending on making a large, expansive universe, or did they go, wait, these are popular and we like money?
From the very get-go, the very cut scene in the first movie that's Iron Man is Iron Man in his hotel having Nick Fury come in, said, Tony Stark, quite a stir. And, saying all that.
They were building up to Avengers, but what I'm saying is, did they have so many freaking movies planned?
I think,
or did they just keep adding to the stack?
I think they had at least a phase of it planned, and after it took off, they just ran with it. I think it's a little gassed at this point.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Now, Doomsday is one of those movies, and it's coming out next year, so it's got some time. It's got the list of actors that's going to be in Doomsday portraying their roles. Have you seen the actor list from Doomsday?
I've not.
Let me read it to you real quick, just because it's already here. I'm going to leech. Okay, now see if you can remember who all these guys are, and if you can't remember who they are, I'll tell you. Okay. Chris Hemsworth.
Okay.
Vanessa Kirby.
I don't know.
I don't fucking remember who she played either. I'm a bad person. I'll go through, and if we don't know, Anthony Mackie. That's Falcon / Captain America. He's the new Captain America. Sebastian Stan. That's Winter Soldier. Well, the list is long. I actually don't want to read this whole list. It's like 30 different people. I mean, including Ian McKellen coming back as Magneto, James Marsden coming back as Cyclops, Channing Tatum reprising his role as Gambit again, Robert Downey Jr.,
You know, he actually did pretty good as Gambit,
Rebecca Romaine,
except for his accent.
Rebecca Romaine coming back as Mystique.
Stamos?
No, just Rebecca Romaine. No more Stamos. She's coming back as Mystique. Tom Hiddleston is Loki. There's a bunch. There's a bunch. It's like it's so many actors and actresses from that universe that's all shoved into one. It's like who's not going to be here because it goes from that and the next step after that is Secret War. So that's what they're building on. But there's another kind of a started series that's just in its budding phase that I think might end up getting a stretch out of the series the same way Marvel has, and that's called Fallout.
Oh, Fallout is so
And
good.
Fallout was done so well, and it brought attention to somebody in that show that I think is a very underrated actor as far as his character.
Absolutely,
portrayals.
he is slept on so much.
Walton Goggins.
I mean, he's the reason this whole conversation took place initially anyway.
You're like, we just want to talk about Walton Goggins. And I'm like, well, he's like one of the greatest slept on character actors. And Tiny's like, he's definitely a slept on actor. So we were going to talk about Walton Goggins. And Walton Goggins, he's been in so much stuff. Like he was Venus in Sons of Anarchy. And that's just insane to think back on Sons of Anarchy and then also think about Uncle Baby Billy.
Right.
Oh, and speaking of Walton Goggins, he's also a poet. And in case you did not know, I will read you some of his poetry.
I mean, Danny DeVito does erotic art.
That's not surprising. He also does Trollfoot.
That's true.
It goes, when I lay my work by, I've a home in the sky, for there will come a payday someday. There's no interest comes due, and no notes to renew. Oh, there will come a payday someday. And then he says, there will come a payday. Hallelujah. What a payday. There will come a payday someday. Someday. There will come a payday. Hallelujah. What a payday. There will come a payday someday. Well, will come a payday. Hallelujah. What a payday. When's the last time you had that stuck in your head? It had been a couple days now, Tiny.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
There will come a payday someday. You not heard that one yet?
No.
Oh my God, honey. Okay. Righteous Gemstones.
No, they're still stuck on Misbehaving.
Oh, let me tell you. Payday gets in your head the exact worm way that Misbehaving does.
God. I don't want it. I don't want it. I really don't want it. Misbehaving makes me want to fist fight and misbehave.
Two little again outside misbehaving. Mama told me not to, I did it anyway, misbehaving.
You're really wanting to see how hard I can punch a testicle.
No, well, actually, from across the room at that distance, I would say so. Let's go through some Goggins here. See if there's any stuff that he was in that I did not remember him from. Because the Ghoul in Fallout, definitely a character that I'm going to remember him for.
Oh yeah,
Uncle Baby Billy, absolutely going to remember him for that character. Venus, going to remember him for that character. He's been in some other shows that I have not watched, but he's receiving some attention for, like The White Lotus. Let's see what else he was in. Oh, he was in Cowboys and Aliens? I didn't remember him in Cowboys and Aliens. That's cool.
yeah.
He's been in a lot of stuff, though.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yep.
Fat Man.
What?
I don't know what Fat Man is, but he was in that.
Oh, I thought you said Batman.
No, fat,
Oh.
like overweight. He was in Predators. He was one of the. I think he was the serial killer.
Yeah. He was. That's good. He's been in stuff. He's been out for a while.
He's been in a lot of stuff. Like
He's,
the
even
next
back in
Karate
even back in the 80s. Oh, he was in the next Karate Kid. I can remember that. He was one of the guys that did the fightings.
Yeah, he's one of those that once you...
He was one of the Cobra Kais.
Once you see his face, you go, I've seen him in so many things. And then you just name off just pretty much anything and then in existence. You're like, oh, yeah, he was in that.
Yep.
The Cherokee Kid.
I've never seen that one.
I haven't either, but yeah, he was in that.
Let's see what kind of television, because he was in Justified and Justified City Primeval. Like I never watched Justified, but there are a lot of Justified fans out there.
They put on a really good concert.
Is that a? He was the voice of Bubba on Squidbillies. The voice. I'm gonna have to watch that episode. He was the voice of Bubba on Squidbillies. The episode is called "Let Her Rip."
I don't know if I'm allowed to watch that movie.
It's a show. It's okay. It's not South Park. You can watch it.
Mom didn't say that I could.
Your mom never even knew Squidbillies existed. You don't got to get her. You don't got to.
I mean,
get
that's
her.
true.
So
I just don't want to disappoint her.
So in case you don't know of Walton Goggins, he was actually on SNL here recently, and he was talking about how the headlines that he's been receiving have been like the most backhanded compliments that he's ever seen be on headlines about him. Like there was like an E! News Walton Goggins article that it was like the greasy receding hairline heartthrob.
Oh God!
And he's like, my hair is healthy and shiny, and this isn't receding. I've had this same hairline since I was 19. Honey, it's holding strong. Because he's like me. He's got that hair on the top of his forehead. Like, that's where it starts. Except, unlike me, his don't cap off right here.
Yeah, but, I mean, honestly, when you think of Walton Goggins, what are the two things you think of the most? Like, feature-wise, when you see him?
Big old smile.
Giant teeth.
He's got a big old smile.
Giant teeth and hat.
Hat?
Yeah.
And hat?
Yeah, and hat. Because he wears that hat like all the time.
I think that the hat might just be maybe he likes hats.
I mean, it's possible.
If I was
But I mean, honestly, if you said who was the guy in that movie that had the big eyes and the giant teeth? Walton Goggins.
I think they called him bug-eyed in one of the articles.
Have you seen his eyes?
How can you miss him?
Exactly.
Well, actually, he's not got humongous eyes.
I mean, I'm not saying that like
I'm sure he
was
can
some
make them
kinda
bigger if he
hideous, like freak.
I mean, he's got normal.
He's a man that is well endowed in the teeth and eye department.
He is. I mean, he's like 75% more than what Tiny represents on the teeth and eye department.
Yes.
Because Tiny shows like 25% of teeth and about the same amount of eye.
We'll see.
Tiny's eyes
only show 100% to certain special people.
Tiny, do the camera guys a favor right here and take your glasses off and open your eyes as wide as you can.
I'm not gonna.
You need to
only
see.
do that for people that I'm in love with.
That's his hypnotic spell. Trust in me.
I don't need everyone that has viewed us on YouTube.
Who the fuck are you, Hypnotoad?
Then
Are you Hypnotoad?
I mean, that's how I gets the ladies. You know, I don't need everybody watching us on YouTube to flock to me and want to be with me because they see 100% of my eyes one time.
Tiny refuses to open up his eyes all the way
I
because
don't need that much pressure.
he's not going to take off his
Cannot
glasses.
please them all.
He's not going to show you his entire eyes, especially with them wide, unless he's in love because he's the Hypnotine.
Well,
Hypnotine.
I've been told I got really pretty brown eyes. So
All three of them?
what? Yes.
Gross.
I wasn't counting the third one, but yeah, I would imagine.
Pedro Pascal.
I mean, he did great as Den.
He was a good Mandalorian.
Yeah, Din Djarin.
Is it Din or Jin?
Din
Djarin?
Djarin.
Yeah. He did, like, when he took off the helmet and I saw who it was.
I was like, put the helmet back on. I don't care about your face.
Like, no, just let me just see you. Let me see you as this. Joel in The Last of Us, he does a good job of that. It's just, after seeing him in The Mandalorian, like, it's hard for me to break my brain of him being Mandalorian, like Mando. Like, I thought I smelled something burning. Do you smell anything burning?
No.
I hope I'm not having one of
Was it
those.
your fingers?
No, it ain't my fingers. We're good.
I
It's my
mean,
fingers.
maybe, I was about to say we was gardening.
That's exactly what it was. I smell my thing. Pedro Pascal's also going to be in another Marvel movie coming up here. Because, I mean, with the Disney property that he was on being Mando, very well represented, They got his storyline wrapping up, and it is going to wrap up in the Mandalorian and Grogu. But I don't know if it is a movie or if it's going to be a television show. But
Well, as long as they don't do the changes that they talked about doing.
what kind of changes are you talking about?
They were going to retcon a bunch of his backstory and replace him with a different actor.
Why?
As long as I don't remember.
That doesn't make
We
any
talked
sense.
about it way long back.
Yeah, well, Pedro Pascal is going to be playing Mando. I mean,
As he should.
let me see if I can. I'll look it up and see if there's actually a. Because did you ever see Wonder Woman 1984?
No.
Good, because that was not a good movie.
I've never seen any of the Wonder Women's.
The Wonder Women's.
Yeah, that was after I just stopped watching superhero movies.
Yeah, because I'm trying to see where that next movie that he's going to be in, because I think it's a movie. Oh no, it's not. It's got him down as nothing on here as far as it being ready, but it's going to be released at the end of 2026. It's called The Mandalorian and Grogu, and it is a movie. So they're going to cap off his story and end his story with a movie.
Good.
But
'Cause how long can you drag out? I found this child. I gave him back to his people. He came back on his own. That's just like it's like Togo. You know, hey, I don't want this dog, so I sold this dog to the neighbor.
Yep.
And then he comes and jumps back through the window, and now he's your dog.
Mm-hmm.
And then now he takes medicine all the way back to Nome, Alaska, and then they give credit to fucking Balto.
That's true. Some people still call him Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
Put some respect on that name. It's Grogu.
exactly.
Pedro Pascal is going to be playing Reed Richards. He's the new Mr. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to have 2 iterations of that happening next.
I don't know if we need another Fantastic Four movie.
This is supposed to be a complete retcon of any past Fast
Every
Forwarding.
time was a retcon.
It's because every time it was required and they haven't got it right yet. Etch a sketches work the way they do for a reason. Oh, that's messed up. Try again. Fantastic Four's kind of been the etch a sketch of the superhero movies. They got it. Oh, that's campy. They got it. Oh, that's serious with no plot. They've got to try again. Let's not even talk about the one that came out in the 90s because let's just not. There was one.
There was 3 of them.
No, there was not 3 of them, but there was Fantastic Four in the 90s that was live action as well as Captain America and Spider-Man too. I'll show you that later. It's not porn, I promise.
'Cause the only one that I saw was the one with Jessica Alba.
Yeah, that was the one that came out in the 2000s.
Gotcha.
But
The 13-year-old boy that lives inside of me loves it.
I understand. The Fantastic Four movie is actually just a redoing. It's called Fantastic Four: The First Steps. It is going to be
Them growing up as children.
No, it's going to be
So it's not even close to their first steps.
no, but it is the first. It is a retrofuturistic parallel Earth that is 1960s inspired. That the Fantastic Four is going to be taking place on. So it's going to be stylized the way that the 1960s original Fantastic Four comics were, where it was retrofuturism that they were using to depict like this future existence.
I didn't know that it was retrofuturistic.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
I didn't either. I just read it to you, though.
Yeah,
So we learned something.
we did.
So, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of actors within Marvel that now I see as character actors, too. Like, Chris Hemsworth is Thor.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard for me to see him in other things. Like, Cabin in the Woods, he was great in Cabin in the Woods, but I was still...
just like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yeah! Even though he's wonderful in The Greatest Showman.
I mean, he could have been.
Did you
but
never
I
see The
think
Greatest
Hugh
Showman?
Jackman, no.
Oh! Have you ever heard that man sing?
No.
He
I
has
didn't
got
know he could.
He's actually on Broadway right now.
Oh.
Doing The Greatest Showman.
I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of actors that are, Broadway caliber
He's
singers.
Dude, he has got some singing chops.
'Cause, I mean, Sir Patrick Stewart started off on Broadway. Well, not Broadway, but in theater.
Yeah. Well, if you look at also like Zac Efron, who's also
I don't know.
he's actor. He's an actor. Started off.
Is
in
he
Disney.
one of those actors that has one of the faces ever?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how you know him. He was in the High School Musical movies. He can sing, but it's like one of those things. Like, well, can he really sing? It's kind of like bebopping around like about it. And then in The Greatest Showman, he actually does sing as well. So even as reprising the role of singer, grown up
Gotcha.
can sing. So it's just surprising to see them be able to sing, like actors that are legitimate actors, like Gerard Butler. He had no singing training.
I mean, Bruce Willis was a good singer until he lost his brain.
I didn't know that Bruce Willis
Oh
was a
yeah,
singer.
he did blues.
Oh, blues singer. I did know that. I didn't know that. It wasn't like an operatic,
No.
theatrical musical thing. It was like a rock and roll thing, like what
Yeah.
Hugh Laurie does.
Yeah.
Except Bruce Willis could sing, and Hugh Laurie can just instrument. I don't know if he sings too much.
No, he does.
Does he sing really well?
Yeah,
I'm
he
gonna
sings
throw
in
up.
like most of his
That's
songs.
not fair.
You didn't know Hugh Laurie could sing?
No, I just knew he was a good guitar player. I've never listened to
He's
his.
a pianist.
He plays guitar, I thought.
He does that as well, but he mostly plays piano. Anytime that House is playing piano, that's Hugh Laurie playing piano.
Well, I knew he could play instruments, but I didn't know he was like. I thought he was a guitar player. Though.
He's a piano player first, guitar player second.
Oh, well, that's
You know what I'm
still
saying?
unfair because he's a really, really good actor.
He can also play harmonica.
He's a really good musician,
Yes.
and both of those things would be fantastic if I could do either of them. I could act like a good musician. How about that?
You're good. You can sing. You can play guitar.
Thank you, Connie.
Well, I mean, it's true.
You're a sweetheart.
I mean, it's true.
Thanks everybody for joining us this week. We got a good little glimpse into some character actors and actresses. Even looking back to Kathy Bates, I forgot about fried green tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about Tawanda, the Avenger. Like I forgot about that, and like just that she was that lady in my brain for a little bit actually, and I'd forgotten about that because I watched that movie with my mom a lot whenever I was a kid because every time it'd come on, my mom would be watching it, and
I think that was all of our moms.
because she would.
That and Steel Magnolias.
Now, what would you do if you came home from work and I opened the door wrapped in cellophane? I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably call the hospital. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. Hour flew by for me.
Yeah.
Just zooming on by.
Typically it does when we do this.
It does, doesn't it? I don't know if it flies by for everybody else, but we just get in here chit-chatting and talking about stuff. And everybody have a good rest of your week. And if Walton Goggins shows up and he has a handful of grapes, Tiny, what would you do?
Oh, I don't know.
No idea? Would you be starstruck?
Possibly. I'd be like, huh, your eyes are not quite as big as I thought they were.
And while he's shoving the grapes in Tiny's ass, Mama told
I'd
me
be
not
like,
to.
stop misbehaving.
Mama told me not to. I did it anyway, Miss B. Graping.